Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Let's continue learning together. And on to today's video, we're gonna look at item of one feature in general ledger of Autopost. So when you talk about Autopost, this is the procedure of setting up a journal Autopost criteria set that must be met by various journals for them to be auto-posted. So these journals, obviously they will not be posted, the status will be unposted. And this criteria, it has to look at some kind of conditions that has been set in this criteria set. So again, this process of auto posting, there will be submission or submitting the auto post program. So there is a program of auto post to post the journals that have met the auto post conditions or criteria. These are the conditions that I have mentioned here above, whereby this has to be met by the various journals for them to be corrected or for them to be auto-posted by this auto-post program. So another thing that we need to understand is that you can as well schedule this program. You don't have to manually be running the program, because you might find probably these journals are needing they don't need any adjustment, and probably they have the same criteria each and every period. So you can schedule this program for a certain period that you want these journals to be auto-posted, and the system will be auto-posting them for you to be able to see them as auto-posted journals. Again, you can be able to, for instance, one of the examples that we can check on whereby the auto-post applies is whereby if you use budget control, you can use Autopost to create encumbrance journals that are created when fund reserve is done. So when we are using the budget control, usually reserve funds. So and through fund reservation, we usually create some encumbrance journals. So these journals are the ones that we are giving as an example, whereby you can be able to set the criteria for Autopost to consider such journals and auto-post them. So you don't need to, once you have reserved funds and created the encumbrance journals, you don't need to go and start posting those journals manually. You can auto-post. So we can go to the system and be able to see how we create this criteria set, because it's a criteria or it's a condition which we need to see how we create it. So the navigation is set up. Once you go to setup, journal, expand journal, then here down we have auto post feature. Open it. So this is the window for auto post criteria set. So you can see even the name here on the header level, the criteria is, or the name for the field is criteria set. So this set, it's kind of a set is kind of a combination of different things, and these different things, or more than one item, is what we are bringing together and see which are these things, or these different or various items that are brought together. In this scenario, it's not item as per, but what we understand is their conditions. There are conditions or different conditions which are creating this criteria set. So once we provide the name, you're supposed to provide the name for the first thing. For instance, you can say third auto post journal entry. can give a description. In this case, we can take the same name, criteria set name, and paste it here as the description. But if you feel like you want to give more elaborative description, you can still do that. So once that is done, what else you're supposed to know is that you have the option for posting submissions options. So this field for posting submission options is whereby you can be able to give some options based on the priorities that you want to be considered by the system. So what happens is that when you select the submit all priorities in order, we have priorities here down. So the program that we have called Autopost program will submit all the criteria set and all the journals that have been are meeting the set criteria or set conditions in an order of priorities. So if we happen to give priority 1 here, 2, 3, 4, and so on, in that order it will be auto-posted. And if you happen to select submit only priorities with batches in order, here you'll need to give the number of priorities that you want to be submitted with batches in order. I hope it's clear the difference of the two. Then we'll have journal effective dates. So journal effective dates, here the system or the program that will be auto-posting, that is the Autopost program, it will check the number of days that you have provided before the current date. So for instance, if you have scheduled the program to run on a certain date, in that date, the program will check on the number of days that it should consider that those journals were created. So you might find there are journals which are, like for instance, let's say 5 days. So if the program is being run on a certain date, it will check all the journals that have been created from 5 days before current date. Then you can provide also another 5 days after the current date. So all those journals, the program will consider it or will consider them and it will auto-post them. But anything that is beyond this range, it will not be considered for posting. I hope that one is clear. Then you come under the line level or line field. Here, this is where I'm saying you can be able to provide different priorities. So priorities we give in numbers. Then you can provide now the combination of conditions that has to be met for this Autopost program to run, and consider these journals that will have met these conditions. So this is where you provide the condition. So priority 1, you can provide ledger. So if we have more than one ledger, of course you'll find the system can consider all ledger. You have the option to select all ledgers, and also you have the option to select the specific ledger. Okay, so in our case, we can say third primary ledger. So that column is about the sources, and here we have several sources, of course, of the journal. So you should provide your journals or sources for your journals. Okay, sources for your journals, for instance, here is encumbrance. Okay, then category. Can check category, we can say it's coming from for instance You can say payment. Then we have balance type. That balance type you can say either all, actual, budget, or encumbrance. So here you can say encumbrance. But this is just for example, and you can be able, you have the room to change to or to set this condition to whichever criteria that suits the business needs. So then again we have period. Here you can be able to choose the period that you want this journal to be created. Okay, we are in October 2024. So like that, you can continue doing that and creating different criteria. So once you are done, you can submit here manually, or you can even schedule. If these are recurring journals that you know that they will be being created each and every time, you can as well schedule it, and you can submit from here. Once you submit, the system will it will trigger the Autopost program for it to learn and create and post these journals that met these conditions that you have set here. If you happen to schedule, the scheduling will be based on the date. Of course, now the program will be running on that scheduled date and time. So in this case, you can go ahead and save. And once you save, now you can go ahead and submit. Submit the automatic posting concurrent request ID is user. So it has submitted, or it has triggered a program. So let's see that program. And this is the program for automatic posting. So you can schedule this program. This is what the system is telling you here. As well, you can also rerun it here and schedule it as you are running it from the request here. Okay. So that is auto posting, and again, now this one will apply when it comes to their journals that obviously they have been created and they need to be auto posted. Again, you might find probably there are so many journals that you want to post. You don't need to go and post them manually. You can come here and create a condition that will be met, or very well has been met by those journals. Then you come in. Once you create these criteria set, then you submit it. You submit the auto post program, and those journals will be auto posted. Okay, that is that. Then we have another item that I want us to look at is the auto reverse. So, and when it comes to auto reverse, it is a feature to create criteria or conditions to be met by journals that are entered in a different or previously accounting period that need to be reversed for purpose of adjustment to reflect on the correct or current period. So what happened is that you might find there are journals that probably they have been created, and you don't want them to reflect in the period that they were created. So what you can do is to do an auto reverse, or you can use the feature of auto reversing. This auto reverse will auto reverse all those journals based on the conditions that you have indicated. And on these conditions that you have indicated, they will be, reversed to a point that you can now post them in the correct period that you want them to reflect. For instance, if they were, maybe it's the revenue that was corrected on a certain month. For instance, a revenue that has been captured or corrected in the month of October, but you don't want them to reflect in the month of October, you want them to reflect in the month of November. So what happens is that reversing entries are made on the first day of the accounting period in order to remove certain adjusting entries made in the previous accounting period. So reversing entries are used in order to avoid the double counting of revenue or expenses or any other journal that you could be probably, knowing it has been, posted. But mostly you find these conditions affect mostly the revenues and expenses. Okay. So in that regard, we can see in the system how it applies, or how you can create these criteria. It enables the Autopost. So if you come here, set up the system, you go to journal. Then under journal, there is AutoReverse. This is the AutoReverse feature. So again, here you work with a criteria. So in this case, this criteria, you have to give it a name. Distance third journal reverse. Reverse 1. Call it reverse 1. The same you can copy and paste it in the description, but if you're willing, you can provide a more detailed description based on this journal. It could be you're giving why do you have this reverse journal criteria set. For instance, you might find it probably it's rent income that you don't want it to. It is reversing the rent income that probably has been paid in the month of October, but it is for the month of November, something of the sort. Again, you can provide security, because if you don't want everyone who has access to this feature to see the details of these general reversal criteria, you can provide always the security here. Once you provide or you enable security, the access button here will become active, and now you can give criteria of or conditions of whom you want to have access to this journal reversal criteria set. Okay. Then after providing this, you come here and click on category. Of course, you have to save first. And once you click on category, here you get the default categories that are in the system. So these are seeded category, but doesn't mean that if you happen to go and create, it will not come here. So if you go and create another category, definitely you can be able to see it from this category column. Again, once now you have the default category and default reverse period and method has been defaulted, you can always come and adjust based on the needs that you'll have based on the needs of the business. So when it comes to reversal period, definitely it has to go with the category that you want to reverse. Then you have different reversal period here. We have no default, next no adjusting, next period, same period, and next day. So I would like to take you on a detailed explanation of those periods name so that you can be able to make an informed decision when you are creating the reversal criteria set. So when it comes to no default, here the reversal period you define when you manually enter your original journal entry. So this is the reversal period you define when you manually enter your original journal entry. So that's the period that if you are doing manual journal entry, the original one, the period that you will select, that's what will default to this one. It will be considered. Then same period. Same period here means that the same period of the journal entry. So if the journal entry was entered in the period of October, it will be reversed in the same period. Then next period. Next period, the period following the period of original journal entry. So if you find like the journal entry has been captured in the month of October, the next period will be the month of November. That's what will be considered. Then when it comes to next non-adjusting, this is the non-adjusting period following the period of the journal entry. Okay, I think that one is straightforward. Then next day, the period into which the effective date of the journal entry falls. This option is only applicable for average daily balance ledgers. So you will find there are ledgers that need to be balanced each and every day. For instance, the bank ledgers, so that they can be able to report bank ledgers or bank operations have to report on a daily basis, which that's why you find such an option is there. So based on that, you can be able to select the suitable period, reversal period. Then once you select, for instance, you can say next period. Once you select the next period, it will have to ask you whether you want to adjust. There is a column for reversal, date, average balances only. So date is whether first day or last day. So you can say maybe probably first day. Then the other column that we have here is the column of method. So what does this mean? It means if, for instance, you have an option of whether in the ledger that you have created, you switch the entries. So if the previous, if one account entry was debit and the other one was credit, you interchange the debit and credit sign, and not only sign but the application when it comes to accounting entries. You can either choose to work with switch debit or credit, or you can even change the sign. The sign will be either positive or negative. So those signs are the ones that will interchange when it comes to if you choose change sign. Then once you have provided that, you can go ahead and select the auto reverse. And once you select auto reverse, you can as well enable auto post reversal. You see now, once you auto reverse, it means that journal is not posted. So you can go ahead and tell the system after auto reversing, go ahead and auto post. And if you don't select this, you'll need to go and now do another work of posting the journals that has been auto-reversed. So this is where we create the criteria for journal reversal, that is auto-reversal. You can go ahead and save it. Okay. And once you save it, I believe you can always come and vary it. For instance, if I close this, and I click on auto-reverse, then I press F11, I paste it, then Control F11. You can see we have our auto-reversal criteria in our system. So again, this one applies based on the journals that are coming either from probably manual or from the subledgers. And that's how we work with Autopost and auto-reversal features in the GL module. I hope my session was interactive enough and it has made you to learn one or two things. We'll continue creating more learning. So if you have any question, please feel free to write on the comments, or even you can inbox me. Thank you.